Me? Just hanging around.
So we're back! It's time to review the latest issue of The Amazing Spider-Man written by Zeb Wells. I don't know if you've noticed, but we get gloomier every time we do that intro. I might just not even do an intro one day. Anyways, let's get straight into it and not beat around the bush. So this is the issue that handles the death of Kamala Khan. Now, first of all, this is the stupidest decision Marvel could ever make. Second, they killed Kamala in a Spider-Man comic. Do you know how disrespectful that is to the character? Hella disrespect. Third, and most importantly, her movie comes out in a few months. The time in which you'll sell most Kamala Khan comics is during the time in which she hits the mainstream through her appearance in a Marvel Studios movie. So killing her here was the worst decision you could have ever made. Also, it was leaked! It was freaking leaked! This was the original cover for the book, so it wasn't actually meant to be known that Kamala was gonna die. But then a couple of leaks before the book actually came out revealed Kamala's death. So Marvel had to make it look like they were revealing it before the book came out. So they had no idea what they were doing. What's even worse, and we'll get more into this when we look at the issue itself, is that Kamala didn't even really appear in this run all too often at all. She appeared like once or twice during the start of the run as an Oscorp intern, and then she was a part of a flashback during the Hobgoblin storyline, which revealed the reason as to why she was an Oscorp intern, which was to keep an eye on Norman Osborn, essentially, because, you know, Green Goblin and that. But yeah, she was barely in the book, so this death doesn't really make any sense. But anyway, we'll get to that. We kick off this issue with a flashback to her applying for the Oscorp internship, and this is where I have my first problem with the book. Even if it didn't leak that Miss Marvel was the one that died, it would have been extremely obvious by this prelude here. Now, the issue is that they didn't really establish Kamala as a regular character appearing in the Amazing Spider-Man run. She only had little cameos here and there. So this flashback makes it seem like they're really scrambling for stuff to do with her character, so her death matters to the story. This is going to be a really random analogy and a really random example, but if you guys ever seen The Walking Dead, so if you guys have watched The Walking Dead, you'll know that it got to a point in like season 5 or 6 that you knew when a character was going to die because they dedicate like 1 or 2, maybe even 3 episodes to basically like fleshing out their character, and you were like, yeah, this character's been on the back burner for so long, but now you know they're gonna die. Essentially, that's exactly what's happening here. Kamala is now being given stuff to do because she's gonna die, which makes basically the fact that she's gonna die all the more obvious, and it's just bad. It would be like if Spider-Man showed up in an Avengers book, right? And he showed up for like one final battle, and then he died in the same book 30 issues later. It doesn't really work. So yeah, they had to do the scene, but like I said, because they had to do it, makes it extremely obvious who they're killing off. We are then taken back to present day, and Rabin has returned, or Rabin, whatever you call him. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. This whole issue is basically one big final battle, and I tell you what, I'll give it to them. This final battle is actually really cool. The artwork by John Romita Jr. is actually not so bad here. I've had my critiques over the last few issues, but here it's actually not so bad. Spider-Man, MJ, and Gold Goblin are there, and then Miss Marvel drops in to help out as well. Everything culminates, and while it doesn't really hold any weight due to the story beforehand not really amounting to much, this final battle is actually quite cool, and it was just a pretty fun read. Rabin also summons this massive dragon thing as well, which was awesome, and Norman goes to fight it. I thought that was pretty cool. And I might have a hot take here, but I'm not gonna lie, Norman and Peter actually have a lot of chemistry. I know, hold your bloody horses. Peter and Norman shouldn't even be friends in the first place. I know. I have my issues with them teaming up in the first place, okay? I do. If you've seen my other videos, and if you haven't, then I recommend you do, then you'd know that I hate these two teaming up. I absolutely hate it. It makes no sense whatsoever. But when you take away the contextual elements to their past, and how it's really messed up that somehow Peter can work with the man that killed the love of his life, these two actually have decent chemistry together. And they kind of work. They actually do. When they team up to fight things, it actually kind of works. If anything, this gets me excited for the likes of Spider-Man Freshman Year, because we know that Norman in that series and Peter are going to be teaming up. And it makes sense because Norman isn't the Goblin yet in that series, so them teaming up will align continuity-wise. Anyway, then we get this big reveal in a flashback that Paul is actually Rabin's son. So this whole reveal is so dumb because, yeah, it gives something to Paul's character. Paul has nothing as a character. We know he loves MJ, that's about it. But he has nothing. But because as an audience, Rabin doesn't really matter to us, and because we haven't exactly been enticed to like Paul either, this reveal means absolutely nothing. And they basically play it up as this was like a massive thing, like we should care. Also, they switch the clothes mid-scene. Look at this. Peter and MJ switch clothes. I know these books are bad, but come on, guys, a little bit of consistency here. Yeah, anyway, the kids disappear. I know it sounds horrible. Actually, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. They're fictional characters. And even in the fictional book, they were technically fictional characters too. So I'm just going to say it. I'm glad the kids are gone. Screw the kids. They were the sole reason that it made it so difficult for MJ and Peter to get back together. Paul, he's fine. We can kill him off. But the kids, you can't kill the kids off, okay? You can't do that. So now that they've gone back to that dimension that Rabin's from, it's fine. We won. Then MJ starts using her knockoff Omnitrix and tries to literally murder Rabin. Then the Fantastic Four show up as they see what's going down. They see the massive dragon thing and basically a whole battle ensuing. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to praise this book again. Spider-Man and the F4 are actually in character in this interaction, and I've never been happier. Basically, Peter apologizes to the F4, saying that he's sorry for being a jerk recently. But Reed is actually really understanding with him, and he says that they've been friends for a long time, and basically they just need to move past it. And I really like this moment. It's nice. It doesn't make up for all of the outer character moments that we've had so far in this series, but I'm glad we're sort of getting back on the right track. So basically, everyone teams up to take out this dragon thing, and Rabin as well. And it is actually really awesome. I actually do like this final battle. Until, oh no, Mary Jane is stabbed. No, MJ. Oh god, MJ. Shock horror, it's Miss Marvel! Fooled you there, didn't I? So yeah, it's Miss Marvel. And we conclude the most unsatisfying, most undeserved, most disrespectful death ever done in Marvel Comics. Thank you, and good night. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video on my review for issue 26. This issue actually wasn't the worst out of the recent ones. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite issue, or one of my favorite issues of the whole run, just because I think the final battle was cool. There was really nice character moments, you know, despite some of the really bad things being the really, really bad. You know, taking out the death of Miss Marvel and how mad disrespectful that is to the character and how it doesn't really work in the Spider-Man book. Take that out. The final battle was cool. All the culminating stuff was cool. Like, it was a cool book. All right, it was decent. It was okay. But once again, hopefully we can move past Miss Marvel being dead, and hopefully they bring her back because her movie's coming out, and I hope that she just moves on from the Spider-Man comics because it was mad disrespectful to kill her off. Either way, that's been it for my video. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think about this book? I want to know all of your thoughts, as we always say. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.